What's up, you guys? On today's channel, what I'll be talking about is the digital currency going to become the mark of the beast, okay? How did we get to this conclusion, okay? Me and my wife, we were talking and I was explaining this digital new currency that was coming out with the FEDcoin, and the purpose of this FEDcoin was essentially to have a cashless society so that they can enable NIRP, negative interest rate policies, to keep assets inflated. We were talking about that, and I was saying that this new digital currency could essentially be programmed. It could be controlled. They could determine where you spend, how you spend, when you spend, and essentially we were looking at that, and then she says, that's the mark of the beast. I was like, nah, it doesn't say that in Revelation or whatever, Apocalypse. And she was like, yeah, it says that in the Apocalypse, because she has a religious background, and she was saying that's exactly the mark of the beast. So that what we did, we went and seen 13:17, and it says, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark, okay? And then we were talking about that. Okay, the mark. Could it be that the mark would be the microchip in the hand? Because we're already used of paying with our cell phones. We just pull out our hand and we pay. So is it like a habit that they're storing us? And remember, I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just trying to understand this information, okay? Because when she said that to me, and I was like, oh my God, it really feels like that could be it, okay? So essentially, let's get back to the goal of the video. The goal of the digital currency is to go cashless. Why? Because when you have a negative interest rate policy, people, what they do is they take out their cash from the bank, and it makes bank runs. So they go out of cash and they go into physical cash. And what happens is when you start selling these physical assets, as soon as you sell physical assets and you want to sell them quickly, what's going to happen is that you're going to go into cash, and that effect has a deflationary effect on assets. Now, NIRP, you can only implement it if there's no cash in the system. With a digital currency, the government will be able to control everything. They'll be able to control inflation and GDP. Essentially, you can control inflation, you can control where people spend, how they spend it. So you can essentially control, if you see that prices are increasing too much in one area, what you'll do is you'll reduce the amount that people have to spend in that area, and it will decrease inflation in certain goods and services. It's going to keep assets inflated. If you watch most of my videos, I'm always talking about this. Essentially, the NAV is correlated with the WACC, the weighted average cost of capital. If the cost of debt reduces, the NAV decreases, the yield decreases, and the PE ratio of those assets will increase. You don't need a bank to make a transaction from one phone to another phone, or if we had this microchip, we could, because this new system that's coming in is 5G. A lot of people have a hard time to understand 5G because 5G is totally different. It's not like 4G. 4G is inside your phone, the grid is inside your phone. 5G, you're in the grid. The grid is everywhere. So if you had this microchip, you go into a store, you take whatever you want, you just pass your microchip, and it's charged directly to your Fed account. You don't need to have physical money anymore. It tracks all transactions. There's no privacy here, and all illegal transactions are tracked in this digital currency. Now, if we have a chip, we would have our social security on it, and we would have our Fed coins on it. So when you look at that and you say there's no more cash in the system, there's no more money in bank accounts, well, the only way you can spend is if you have this mark on your hand or this microchip in your hand. And essentially, that's what Revelation 13:17 says, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark. Okay, so all this got me thinking, and I felt like sharing, and I want to see your comments about this. I want to understand, is it just something that I'm seeing, or are you guys seeing the same thing? And I'd like to hear your comments a little bit more if you have information concerning this information. It's just something that I found I almost had that feeling of, oh my God, maybe this is really the end. And like after a while I was trying to calm myself down, because I was saying to myself, this is impossible. Like it's just something that happens, and there's no correlation between the two. But anyways, if you like, if you have any comments, just comment down below, and I'll be seeing you on the next video. Thank you.